Hey, in today's video we're going to talk about something that was in the TWID. That is something that's kind of got me a little worried and kind of I think is kind of dumb. And that's right here. If you read right here, it says Adepts rotation calendar. When the Edge of Fate launches, adept weapons will be going away in favor of the new tier gathering system, or gearing system, not gathering, sorry, curing system. Already starting off great, let's go. Before that happens, we want to be crystal clear on when you'll be able to earn adept weapons from Trials of Cyrus Nightfalls in case you want to complete your collection. Check the calendar below. So, the reason I'm talking about this is because this is the dumbest thing I think I could ever say Bungie could have done. So I understand the new tier system is tier 5 will be the new adepts, and it'll allow you to equip depth mods, or if they change the depth mods, it'll allow you to equip those style of mods. I understand it, I'm fine with that. The problem is, sorry, I'm dying here. Holy shit, my throat's fucked. Anyways, the problem is they're taking away the adepts as well. And yeah, I get it. You're probably wondering, well, if tier 5 is going to be like adepts, why would they have adepts? Because it's something to go after. They could have allowed adepts to have higher stats or special stats or something unique that they never had before. Something that goes only for adepts, so you'd still want to go out and farm adepts. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. This is not really a great idea by any means. I am very disappointed in this. Because Trials of Osiris, yeah, okay, cool. I assume Trials is going to have tier 5 weapons. You know, you go flawless, you get tier 5 weapons. You don't, you get lower tier weapons. But I don't know if either I missed it in the TWID or they didn't talk about it. Is there a way to upgrade a tier 1 weapon to a tier 5 for the material and stuff? Because they do talk about special material. Or is that material for the armor only? Like, are you going to make a tier 1 weapon to a tier 5? Is it possible in any sort of way to upgrade it? Because if it is, then now there's no point for GMs, there's no point for Trials of Osiris Flawless, there's no point for anything. Literally, anything that had Adepts right now will become pointless. And even if there's not a way to get tier 5, or a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, to a tier 5, and the only way to get tier 5 is from the hardest stuff, and then from Trials of Osiris Flawless, stuff like that, and the GMs, right? Or maybe a higher version of the GMs. I think they said they were bringing out a higher version of the GM at some point. And that'll probably be the tier 5 stuff. I'm guessing. Even with all that, it's like, what's the point? Because you stop and think about it right now, right? Adepts didn't have much of a difference to begin with from normal ones. The mods were about it in a little bit of extra stats. Some weapons, those stats matter, and some they don't. They're really situational. But otherwise, yeah, it's not that big of a deal difference between them. So I get it. That's what people think. Okay, well, there's not much of a difference anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But here's the thing: it actually is. Because the reason people go and play Trials of Osiris is for the Adepts. The reason people do GMs is for the Adepts. Yes, you might be getting tier 5s now. Okay, fine. That's still not okay, though. Because now they're all just the same weapon. There's no definitive difference between them. The tier system, yes, it might mean more perks and more enhancements. And then you can enhance your barrels, your magazine stuff, which is cool. But you can't just slap on tier 5 and say it's Adept still. Adepts have been selling in Destiny 2 since the beginning. Or Destiny 1 since the beginning, sorry. They're like the thing that drove the game. And they added more and more, made them easier to get and more ways to get them, yes. But they're still the driving factor of certain activities. People only do the hard mode Nightfall because of that. And yeah, maybe you can go get a tier 5. They let you enhance your barrel and stuff. But we don't even know fully what those enhancements do. We don't know if it increases your range by 1, 2, 3, 5, or what. So without that information, that doesn't help us. But then also, it's like, I personally like weapons that say Adept, or have an extra name to them. And from what we've seen, they're not going to gain an extra name if they're tier 5. They're still going to be the exact same name. They just give you a little bit of a difference. They give you like a little shiny form or something, which is cool. But personally, I think the name would be better. The shiny form's awesome and all, and don't get me wrong, I like a fancy form gun that has a special unique effect and stuff. Awesome. But you know what's nice about the game right now is I can load up someone's inventory in PvP, instantly see the weapon and know, oh, that's Adept Shrias, that's this, that's that. I don't have to look at the gun and be like, oh, wow, look, it's a tier 5 weapon. Because that's what will happen. Now I have to look up at it to see it. It's just like, whatever, you know, I don't care. It's tier 5. Whereas Adept is like, ooh, they got an Adept roll? I wonder what roll it is. I wonder if it's a God roll, better mine, worse than mine. It gives you curiosity. But now it's like, oh, okay, well, same old guns. I know the Adepts are still basically the same thing. I know there's slight differences, and that's it. But there is something about an adept, something saying adept, that just makes you want to grind it. And I know this because we see it every time on all kinds of activities, people grind the adepts. It also makes a lot of people scared to farm adepts because they think the activities will be too hard, when half the time the activities aren't that hard at all. It's your mind blowing smoke in your head, making you think they're harder. So personally, adepts to me is the definition between lesser skill and higher skills. The one thing left. And yes, I guess tier 5 will somewhat show that too, but at the same time, they went from making it super easy to get adepts from trials, which I assume will still be the same thing. They'll just now not be called adepts. They're just going to be the enhanced versions. You still can get them from trials pretty easily. I doubt it's going to be the flawless ones. I doubt they're going to go back to the flawless system. So obviously, if you go flawless, you get more, but you know what I mean. You still can get one very easily. So yeah, I don't like this. I don't know how else to put it. It feels like it's the wrong way to go. Because if anything, the biggest problem in the Destiny community, or the biggest problem in the Destiny game, is the resources are super easy to get. All of your guns can be maxed out pretty quickly with no effort. Your armor is pretty easy with no effort. And yeah, the new weapon system and armor system requires farming and stuff, but once you get the rolls, it'll be pointless past that point. Which some people will get really quick, some people will take forever, like I did. It takes forever. Farm it no matter what, takes forever. So yeah. But I don't know, to me it just feels like the worst decision to take out Adepts. I feel like tier 5 should just be called, not Adepts though, I think Adepts should stay in the past in the sense of their uniqueness. But whenever you get a tier 5 weapon, there should be a special name that goes with it. That way, and a special look, something special about it. Obviously, there will be somewhat of a special look because of the shiny form or the effect form that they're putting on them, but, there should be something nicer. I'm just saying, I just feel like the worst possible thing is to take Adept system out of the rotation entirely. I get tier 5s replacing that, but that's my thing. They don't feel like they're an adequate replacement in the sense that they don't show off the same as like what Adept does currently. Yes, they might have better enhancements and stuff, but they don't feel the same. And I know I'm saying that because they're out right now, and you're like, well, maybe it's the same. No, because this is all about a visual status. This isn't about stats and stuff, because the tier 5 are going to get the same ability to put on adept mods. They're going to get enhanceable perks that probably will enhance more, give more percentage when you masterwork it or whatever. So there's bonuses. So it's basically going to be the same. It's just the name itself. If I look at a name now and see someone as an adept, I'm like, okay, they probably grinded for that, unless they got really lucky. Or I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know. There's a curiosity to it. I know this video is just ranting and stuff, but to me, this feels like they're removing the one thing in the game personally that I felt was actually an accomplishment. Because I go and farm stuff that drops adepts all the time. I put forth the work and effort, and I feel rewarded for it. Even though it might not be a huge difference, I feel rewarded. Not because of what it is, but because of what it is. And by looks and the name and all that, it makes it feel special. Hearing something say, oh, you got a tier 5 weapon, that's cool. That doesn't roll off the tongue like, oh, you got a Shariah's Adept, you have a Shariah's tier 5. What the fuck trash is that? I'm just saying, that seems trash to me. It's my opinion. I'm not trying to hate on Bungie. I'm just saying, as a whole, that's a trash system. Where is the roll off your tongue? Again, don't call them Adepts. This is a new age, right? Call them something else. Give them a special name, something that's unique to each weapon or something, which I know would take a little bit of programming stuff, but it's the removal of that excess name that makes it feel like any other weapon. There's nothing unique about it. No matter if it's tier 1 or tier 5, it's the same fucking thing. And personally, I think that's the problem. I think that's the biggest problem they could make for the game, is they're not making it unique. Uniqueness is not only about perks, it is also about names, looks, stuff like that. Which they were nailing, but now they seem to be going down a bad route. Okay, if you get tier 5 weapon, it should have a secondary name or special name that's on the name itself. I'm just saying. I know it's a rant, I'm sorry for ranting, it's just, personally, this is something that does drive me crazy. I hate this idealism. It's a tier 5, you should be happy. But it's called the exact same thing as a tier 1. Why the fuck would I care? I don't care if it gains more enhanced perks and then we don't even know what they do in the sense of barrels and mags and stuff. We don't even know what the fuck those do. They might not even do anything special, just look cool by being gold, which ain't really fancy. So, I assume they probably will do something, yes. But I'm just saying, as a whole, moral of the story, I think it's a bad idea to take a depths system out of the equation. Tier 5 weapons should not be called tier 5, they should be called something else. Some special, unique name that's only to them. Personally, I think that'd be worth it. That would make it unique, special, and I would enjoy that. because then I would definitely feel worth my time. It's a visual thing as well as a physical thing. And currently, we don't have either, it feels like. So, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Obviously, they'll bring out more weapon info about it eventually. Maybe they'll end up doing that, or hopefully somebody that went and saw it actually told them this, and maybe they'll change that. I don't know. We'll see the time it comes around. But the moment, I'm not very happy about the weapon system changes in that sense. Other than that, I love it. I love how they're doing it, the design of it, grinding harder stuff to get better versions and enhanceable versions on a newer level. I think that's fine. I just want a name to it, as well as a look to it that's special and unique to those weapons, not something that's just generalization. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment what you think. Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know. If you think, yeah, it don't matter, let me know as well. I'd appreciate it either way. Thanks for watching. Adios. We out. Bye.